Hey everybody, another rare quickie from work, but this one's just like too good to freaking believe. Um, I have a lot of different ways I can get to work. I can, this is weird, I look like a freaking talking head. Let's do this maybe. Um, I have a lot of different ways I can get to work. I can walk, I can ride my bike. My bike is kind of out of commission right now. I need to get some help changing the tire. I can walk 2 blocks, ride a bus 2 blocks, and then walk a block and a half, depending on if I'm super tired or it's winter or whatever. I can also walk some, and then this is like super ridiculously lazy, but if I see it coming, I can get on the train and ride like 2 blocks. Well, today I walked a bunch and then I walked up to the train and I decided, you know what, I'm going to go up to the train and I know the train will probably take a while to come, but it'll give me a chance to sit and write in my journal, do a little prayer, meditation, whatever. So that's what I did. I also had with me, besides my purse that has all my books and prayer journals and or journal and calendar and whatever, I had a plastic bag with me and it had a cucumber in it. It was this plastic 7-Eleven bag. um, and I forgot that when I went out at the door today, I checked my mailbox and it had my Netflix in it, my new Netflix. It had a cucumber and it was weighing it down. All of a sudden, the wind blows, and all of a sudden I see my Netflix. Whoa! And before I can even acknowledge that it's my Netflix, it flies and it lands on the tracks. And I'm just like, awesome, so awesome. That's great. Now I immediately know it's fine. Now, if I call Netflix, they're not gonna wig out. They're gonna say, "Oh, okay, that sucks. We'll send you a new one." I look down and I see if I was crazy enough to do it, I could jump down, grab my Netflix, and jump back up, and I'd be okay. Well, I don't know about the jumping up part. My upper body strength isn't that great, but it was not so precariously close to the third rail that I would be, you know what I mean? But here's the thing: it's train tracks and the third rail is there. It's electricity. It's death calling. So I'm not an idiot. You know what I mean? This Netflix that I can get replaced, that is a freaking DVD, that even if I couldn't get it replaced and I had to pay $20 or something like that, even if I had to pay $100, let's see, $100, my life. Call me crazy, but I think I can figure out that cost risk benefit. So I'm just like, yeah, I'm not jumping down there to get my Netflix. So I'm like, what should I do? What should I do? So it's still pretty windy, so I'm kind of hoping like, oh, wouldn't it be great if the wind blew it again and like blew it down to the ground and then I would go down to the ground and get it or whatever. And I'm kind of thinking maybe I should just go down and ask the customer assistant if he has like a jaw grabber and he can grab it. And I'm kind of thinking maybe I can press the customer assistance needed at the kiosk. Customer assistance needed at the kiosk button. But we all know that I've never seen a customer assistant come to that call. I've always wondered what would happen if like a person in a wheelchair was tipped over and managed to push that button, or if it was bleeding from a stab wound and I pushed that button. Like, what would happen? Would that person just die? I mean, because they never come. Which you can kind of almost blame them because it's a lot of the like boy who cried wolf type of thing. Anyway, so I'm like, I should just go down there. I should just go down there and see if they have a grabber. They probably won't. They probably won't help me, but whatever. And I'm like, but what if the train comes and then whatever, I miss this train, whatever. I don't know. I just talk myself out of it. So the train comes and I see that the Netflix is untouched because it's flat and the train is going over it. I'm like, whatever. So I get on the train. And then I'm like, well, what I can do is, because the train, it's pretty lame. These stops are within sight of one another. So why I do this, I don't know. So I'm going to get out and ask this customer assistant to call up to that customer assistant and have them get it for me. First of all, when I get off, there is no customer assistant. So that's classic CTA. Then I come back, I come into work, I talk with my peeps a little bit. I'm like, oh, hang on, we're literally next door to the, I mean, literally next door to the station. So I wait a couple of minutes. I see the CTA truck pull up, and I go back in, and I see her like putting back on her vest. And I explain the situation. I say it's a little bizarre. My Netflix flew off. I think she thinks I say my necklace. And I said, my Netflix flew off, blah, blah, blah. Can you call up there and see if the guy has a little grabber so he can grab it? She says, no, you need to go back up there and tell the dude to see if he'll jump off and get it, or the motorman will stop the train and get off and get it. And I'm like, you can't just call and call up there and have them get it for me? And she's like, no, just catch the next train, go back up there and get it, and then catch the train and come back. And I'm like, really? She's like, no, I mean, all I could do is call control, and they would tell you to do the same thing. And I'm like, okay. And I walk away, and I'm like, that's helpful. Seriously, I have a really hard time believing that from station to station, much less stations that you can see one another, that you cannot call each other. What if there was an emergency? Really? That's all you can do is call control? You can't call your buddies down at the Western stop to say, hey, I'm being mugged, or someone's dying over here, or the track's on fire. All you can do is call control. Now, there is a possibility that's the truth, because the CTA communication is fucked. But that is the most ass backward thing I've ever heard. Really. You cannot call down to the next station and ask them to get that for me. I have to take the train back and ask myself. You gotta be kidding me. Thank you for being so helpful, customer assistant. Thank you for assisting this customer assistant. And all I could think was, A, I am getting that shit on the internet because I'm going to do that because I'm like that. I'm like that. So, yeah, I'm just like irritated. I mean, I don't know. Maybe it's still on the tracks right now. Like, I don't know. But it's like, whatever. I don't know. It's just irritating. I'm just irritated. So, whatever. Crabby, CTA, Netflix, Wind. Wind? What up, Wind? And is it ever going to be June? Like, I did not sign up to live in Seattle, people. Like, this is the joy of living in Chicago, is the Chicago summer. So, summer, you're on notice. Get here now. Stop showing up late for work. So,